The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Oh yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. Like never gets old. And here is my co-host, my wingman, the person who doesn't help me write any of my podcasts, but just shows up and steals my limelight. My husband, Matt Babine.
Thank you.
Stop it. You're making his head bigger than it already is.
And I do have my own notes and agenda, too. So.
Yeah, but how did you get your own notes?
I read yours.
Yeah, exactly. You read mine, and then you piggybacked. That is B to the S. So today's podcast is all about why no is a complete sentence. The 5 best ways to say no while establishing fierce boundaries and working on your self-care muscle. But first, I want to read the iTunes review of the week, and it is from Pavelka, A. And she says, I have been following Katie for almost a year, and she and her Misfit Club never fail to inspire me in some way, shape, or form. We live in a world where it's very easy to waste your life away with excuses and pity parties. But watching and listening to Katie practice what she preaches is a great way to check in with yourself. I highly recommend her podcast and looking into her other social media platforms. I can't lie. I wish I lived closer so I could join in on her events that she's always posting about. Pavelka, please email me at themisfitclub@gmail.com to redeem your $100 gift certificate to use towards anything KBMFC. I appreciate it, friend. I really do. So coming down the pretty pink pipeline, we have 2 really incredible things I'd like to talk about today. One is I have been asked to speak at my friend Sophia Moon's Creative Mornings Boston. It's going to be on Friday, November 16th from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And the theme of this talk is all about starting over after loss. If you have been following me for the last year or so, you know that I am in the end stages of writing my book, cleverly entitled Ambitchious, of course. I have to stay on brand. And one morning I woke up, I was working on my book, you were with me, and I said, Matt, I have to go inside because it's getting really hot out here and I feel like my computer's going to shit the bed. And guess what? It did. And I lost a 30,000 word manuscript. And I did everything, witchcraft, meditate, took it to all the geeks, the geek squad, the nerd squad, all the squads, all the nerds, all the geeks.
The squaws.
There was no saving this manuscript. And I had a pity party for about a day and a half. And then I put my big girl panties on and I rewrote that bitch. And now we are at the end stages. So I'm going to be talking about all the times that I have restarted after loss, where I am really the queen of reinventing myself. And I've been through a lot of shit. So if you want to watch this, it's going to be live. It's going to be at the WeWork space in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So check out that website. And of course, what's near and dear to my heart is Kripalu. I'm going to be holding a Live Your Best Life seminar on January 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2019. I will link into the show notes how you can get there and watch that amazing seminar. And that's really it that's going on. I don't know.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Know. It's
in
always
a short
a lot.
period of time. That's awesome.
There's other things coming up, but I don't want to bore you and overwhelm, So if you're new to the Ambitchious podcast, welcome. And I wanted to catch you all up on what the Ambitchious movement is all about. I like to call them my 6 life makers or breakers, and here they are. Wealth, abundance, and money mindset, Number 2, health, nutrition, and overall wellness. 3, feelings, emotions, and fierce boundaries. 4, relationships, the good, the bad, and the toxic. 5, your environment. Are you Pinterest perfect, or are you an episode of Hoarders, Why and How to Fix It? And 6, my personal favorite, non-negotiable spiritual practices. Soul sisters and brothers, the only way that the Ambitchious movement is going to rise is if you can do me a really big favor. This is my only ask. If you feel like you're receiving some really serious value and entertainment every week on the Ambitchious podcast, please, please, please go on whatever modality that you consume these podcasts. It might be iTunes, it might be Spreaker, it might be Podbean, Google Play, iHeartRadio, whatever, and give me a 5-star review. And please tell me that I'm good at something. I need a self-esteem boost this week. You know, I don't have any sponsored ads here, so get your ass over there and do it. Share it on your Insta stories, tag me on your Facebook, text the link to a friend who may be in dire need of this information so that they can start to change their lives. Or maybe they need a good chuckle. Sometimes people need a good chuckle. Share our video from your YouTube, Facebook, tag me, and give me some love. But remember, as I have warned you from the Ambitchious episode number 1, if you take shit personal, if you don't like what I have to say, or if I gave your boyfriend a hand job in 11th grade.
Oh, Jesus.
Sometimes people don't like that.
I don't like,
Sometimes
I don't like hearing about it.
I'm sure you've never had a hand job. We know that you give yourself one every day.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
And you're still holding that shit over my
Jesus.
head. The Ambitchious podcast is not for you. And if you feel the need to be a hater and give it a bad review, you have been warned. So I think it's the right time for you to go into a dark room, light a candle on, put some Def Leppard on, and go fuck yourself. Pour some sugar on me, in the name of love.
Great
And
song. Great
I know
song.
you love that song. That's Matt's favorite song to bang to. Just throwing it out there.
Def Leppard.
And if you've already given Ambitchious a 5-star review, I thank you from the bottom of my little black heart. Are you ready to do this?
I am ready.
You better help
Thanks
me.
for having me on again.
You better
This is
help
great.
me.
It's
Oh,
becoming
people
a-
are like, oh
it's
my
becoming
God,
a thing.
I love Matt. I love Matt when he's on. And I'm like, oh my
Thank
God.
you.
I'm like,
Thank
please don't
you.
tell him that. It's the ego. It just gets so big, inflated.
No.
It's already big
never,
enough.
Never. I'm right down grounded, right where I need to be.
Is your
get out
voice
of the-
going to sound like this the whole entire
No,
podcast?
no,
You
get out
sound
of the
like
way.
Peter Brady.
Well, I had a little bit of a cold. Peter Brady with the song. Yeah.
He's like, keep on, keep on. What was the song that he
don't
cracked
remember
his
the
voice
song.
to? Damn
I
it.
forgot, but he was cracking his voice. And
He's changed and he's rearranging.
mine's a little cracked today. But
Are you going through a second puberty?
Probably, it's. I am at that age. I could be going through anything.
That turns me on. Does that mean there's going to be more hair on your back that I have to nair?
Yes, even more. And my voice is even sexier now.
Oh, God. You sound like Delilah.
I am Delilah.
Delilah.
I'm the future Delilah.
You are.
God help me.
Here are the top 5 ways that I use to make saying no a beautiful art form.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free, with your notes that you took this morning to just chime in at any time that you want.
I will chime in.
Thanks.
But it's your show, so
Thanks,
I'll
Peter.
just.
Okay, number 1, remind yourself of the opportunity of cost. Ask yourself, will this thing that I say yes to help me get closer to where I am going or further away? Will it take precious time away from the important things like family time, self-care, exercise, eating right, staying the course towards my goals, etc.? Remember, nothing is for free. And if you say yes to things that you want to say no to, there will always be a cost involved. Whether that cost is time, happiness, money, stress, anxiety, whatever. Saying yes when you really mean no will fuck you in the ass with no lube every time.
That's for sure.
My butthole just puckered when I said that.
Mine too. I was
Because
like,
I'm actually a recovered people pleaser.
yeah, I probably am too. I mean, when I was younger, I
You think
struggled.
so?
Yeah, I know so. I used to say yes to so many things.
Like what?
oh God, do you want to play golf at 4 o'clock? And I kind of just made it happen because I didn't want to make somebody feel bad. Or do you want to, can you come to my event? Or can you do this? Or can you teach my kid at 9 o'clock at night instead of the regular time at 6 o'clock
And you would say yes?
Yeah, I just didn't know any better, right? So
what kind of a pushover asshole
I was a
are
pushover.
you?
You got the tough, manly man, but I used
so
to be
lucky.
a person that used to be
I'm so lucky
a little
and
bit of a
blessed.
pushover. But after learning, I kind of
So what do you
I'm
think?
not doing it anymore.
What do you think was the lessons that you had to learn? You had to go through so much pain to just snap out of it.
Yeah, you go through the pain. You go there and do it, and you're sitting there going, "Why the fuck am I here right now? Why did I say yes?"
Who
to
in this room has done this before, or still continues to do it all the time,
Always.
right?
Yeah.
Why do we do this to ourselves? It's sick.
We want to be loved, right?
It's a
we want
disease
feel
to
like
please.
we want to feel like, oh, we're loved, or somebody may say something about me or whatever. And you get to be my age. I'm 51 years old now. It's like I don't give a fuck. I'm not going. I don't want to do it. I have no desire.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think
So
it helps
true.
too, right? Because we're both very, very busy, and I know now we are so careful what we say we're gonna do. Because it takes a lot of time and it takes energy, and our time is short, right? Meaning how
Maybe
much time I
yours
have
is.
off. No, I'll be living a long time, but I'm saying my time is short during the day.
No,
Don't try to get rid of me yet. I'm going to check my insurance policy, see what the hell's going on around
Matt
here.
said something on the ride here because we were talking about something, and he was being very fresh, and he's like, my time is short. And I'm like, it's gonna be because I'm gonna fucking kill you today,
Don't kill me. Let me live.
so you can say no more.
This is on the record that anything happens to me mysteriously.
I want a full investigation.
I want a full investigation. Please investigate everything. Go through the medicine drawers, whatever it is. Pearl's food. She's probably trying to give me. I don't know. But,
You never know. But let's be honest though. We have to actually ask ourselves every time that someone says something. Like
Yes.
if someone comes to you and is like, do you want to do this thing? Do you want to go to this event? Do you want to help me with this? Right? And we're all very loving, helpful people. I'm sure the people that are out there listening are loving, helpful people. But I think sometimes it's not coming from a good place and a true authentic place when you say yes to things when you really mean no, because at the end of the day you're doing it to actually get something. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but for some people it's I don't want people to talk shit about me, or I
Right.
want to be loved, or I want them to always say, oh, she's so sweet, ask so and so, she'll always help out. And it's like, yeah, but then when you lay your head on the pillow at night, you're like, okay, well, I ran around like an asshole all day for all these people, and what did I do for myself?
It comes from fear too, right? Because you're
Yes.
afraid of letting somebody down. Why would you care if it's really your people? Who they should be like, I understand Katie, I understand Matt. This is what he has to do. They both have really crazy schedules, and they just can't go to these things, or they can't do these things, right? And they would understand no matter what our decision was, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number 2, create a no mantra. Just like when we meditate with a mantra. We need a mantra of no. We need to keep saying it over and over and over again. Brainwash yourself if you have to, just like working out works your muscles. And sooner or later, after plenty of workout sessions, you will finally see yourself get into shape, get muscle, get definition, lose body fat, whatever. It's the same exact thing. Know what you stand for, or you will fall for anything. Have a list if you have to do it, and memorize it. For me, I know that there's certain things, and I sometimes have to make lists and say okay, I don't go out to dinner with people on these nights, because I know on Fridays.
You wiped.
By Fridays,
Yeah.
I'm just totally toast.
Yep.
I'm just wrecked, and I just need a day to clean my house. Not that I don't do that every other day, but really clean my house, strip my sheets, do all that, laundry and all that stuff, and it sets me up for success for the rest of the weekend and the week.
Yeah, it's like you said with the gym. You go to the gym and you do the work, right? You meditate, use this as a mantra. The no as a mantra. And you do it we know every morning we get up in the morning, we'll meditate. We don't care what's going on. If we have to do something, we'll get up earlier, we'll meditate. We'll get our workout in. We'll set our food up right for that day.
I'll set Matt's food up right for the day.
Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
You
You're
really make
welcome.
delicious food.
Thanks.
One of these days, I'm cooking you some breakfast.
Matt can't boil water,
I'm
so
getting better.
let's just be honest.
But I am a grill master. I can grill.
Yeah,
like
you're
you.
a pretty good griller.
Yeah, pretty good. You were
What's your nose?
dying. My nose are definitely. I don't do breakfast meetings, and with for my company if I don't have to. My nose are probably. I will schedule things that more work around my schedule now, and I'll ask. So if somebody says with an off schedule time, and say, hey, can you make it in Boston at 7:30 in the morning? Does that sound good? I live in New Hampshire.
God.
Horrible. Absolutely not. I don't want to fight the traffic. And I've got to the point where, okay, can we do 10:30? No, I can't do 10:30, but I can do, 11. Okay, great.
Right.
And I'll take that appointment.
Right.
But before I'd be just like, okay, 7:30 it is.
Because you're just trying to get
right?
scraps.
Trying to get scraps. So it goes back to fear and being enough and not feeling that you're enough and all these things, right?
Absolutely.
But if you catch it when you get older, at my age, I really, for probably the last 10 years, I've really been laser focused on that to make sure that I know where I'm going, what I'm doing.
And I think it takes time. Like, I don't think that young people really get this until it's like you're so exhausted and you feel so depleted that you literally have... Look at, you're doing this shit to my voice. You literally have no other choice.
Yes, I do that to people.
He's looking at me and I'm like, I can feel he's like, payback,
It's
bitch.
my powerful energy.
Oh, you are. You are like a Sith Lord.
My male energy.
Sometimes, like, what people say to me, this happens all the time on my social media. I'll get an inbox on Facebook or a DM on Instagram, and people will say, I love what you do for work. I want to do what you do. I would love to, like, learn from you. Can I take you out for coffee or lunch and pick your brain? Okay, first of all, it is $499 an hour just to talk to me. I'm not trying to be rude, but like I know my worth because of years of not knowing my worth.
Right.
And I had to go through so much pain to know my worth. So you can hire me as a consultant.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm not going to, honey, I have plenty of money. I don't need your free coffee and your free sandwich.
Right, it's not free because your time is very valuable. Driving there, going there, being there. And, and I think it's not just younger people. I think a lot of older people. I know people my age and older that are still, but I have to go. What are you going to do if I don't go? I don't know.
You'll die.
I don't know
You're
what's
not
going to happen.
die.
But you're going to be chipping away at your soul because it's a no and you're still doing it.
Yes.
And you're doing it over and over and over again. And here you go. You're just chipping away at yourself. And then that's never going to be good for you.
And then do you really want to lay on your deathbed someday and be like, I'm so glad I said yes to all those people and no to myself? Mm-hmm. Like, that's so terrible to me.
It's a horror show.
But people will say that. They'll say, well, I have no choice, or I have to, or it's like, you don't have to do anything in the world, right?
Money you can get back. You lost a book that was very, very, obviously precious to you that you put so much time into, but time you can't get back. But you were able to recreate that book. But you can't chip away at all the time that you give so freely. 15 minutes here, 2 hours here, 5 hours at this wedding that you don't even like the people.
Oh, my God.
Right? Holidays, the holidays.
Oh, you just reminded me. I don't go to weddings. I say no to weddings.
I say no. It's me.
I don't go to
we
weddings.
We don't go to weddings unless we really, 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 really.
I went to a wedding last year.
Yeah, love you.
For Marissa Lauro.
Yeah.
I love Melissa Henry now. And people were pissed at me because I said no to go to their weddings. And they were like, you say you don't go to weddings, but you went to Marissa's wedding. And I'm like, yes, because Marissa's awesome. And I love her. And I knew I was going to reunite with all my Miss New Bedford pageant sisters that we were going to have and we had a ripper.
Oh my God, I never danced so much in my life.
So much
it was
fun.
Awesome.
But then you go to other people's weddings and you're like, oh, look, dry fucking chicken. My favorite. Oh, look, a cash bar. Thanks.
Yeah,
like, fuck
great.
off. I mean, and then you want a $500 present from me.
Yes.
Suck my left nut.
No, that was a great wedding. Just like your left nut.
Marissa's wedding was
Just snuck in.
amazing. I don't do holidays. People just know I don't do it. And I have a list, and that's my no mantra. And there's plenty more no's where that came from. But I just, off the top of my head, I'm just thinking of all the different things that I say no to. Number 3, ask yourself, is it a hell yes or a hell no? And every time someone asks you to do something with them or for them, you have to ask yourself these questions. Is this a hell yes or a hell no? And if the answer is 100% hell to the no, like you would rather drink urine as your beverage of choice from now until the day you die, the answer is
no.
Unanimously,
absolutely
no.
No.
Right?
Yes.
And the sooner or later you say no enough times, again, it's that muscle. And people will just stop asking you. Like, I just know now, like people just know, yeah, Katie doesn't do that. So I'm not even going to ask her.
Yeah.
Or someone will say, hey, I know you don't do this, but I want to extend the invite anyways because I love you. And if you can come, great. But I know you don't do this, so please don't feel obligated. Yeah. I have almost like, and I know this sounds kind of puppet mastery. I know you love the word puppet. Puppet mastery, but I've kind of trained people around me just to like flow with my energy.
Yes.
And maybe that's a little egomaniacal, but that's how I feel good on a daily basis, right? And at the end of the day, if people get mad at you for saying no to them, they are not your people. And remember, they will get mad at you because you're not flailing to their whims.
But these are rules that you set up way ahead of time, so it's not like you have to think about them anymore. So it's like, I set these rules up, this is how I want to be, and people will just respect you. And if they don't, then they're not your people.
No.
Let's face it, right? If they have a problem with it, then they're not going to be your people.
Absolutely.
And me, joy is very important to me. If I'm going somewhere, it's going to be joyful, right? Or if it's going to be peaceful. It's going to be, somebody's going to be bringing something to it. Oh my God, I love this person. I really want to go see them. I want to be with these people.
But how many times, though, in the last maybe year, have we gone out with people saying oh, these people are going to be so fun. They're going to be our peer groups. They're going to be awesome. And then we go out with them and we're like, those people sucked buffalo balls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they looked good.
And I will just never go out with them again. And every time that they call me, I'm like, nope, sorry, I'm washing my vagina for the 3rd time today. Extra deep.
Extra clean.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Whatever.
Help
you know
me
what I
out.
mean?
Yeah. No,
Did
I
you
get
say
it.
help me out? Who
Help
are
me
you
out.
asking for help? No one's going to rescue
The
you,
audience,
Matt.
help me out.
Oh, my God. Number 4, reduce your availability. Be so tight with not only your ass, but your time, that there is no extra time. Every day, my schedule is so mapped out, minute to minute. I actually annoy my Virgo husband, which you'd think that he would be more the minute-to-minute person.
I'm mapped out. Believe me, baby. I'm mapped out.
Okay.
I'm mapped out big time.
Matt maps out his eating and pooping and smoking cigar schedule. Yep.
What else is more important?
Very tight. Very tight.
It brings me joy. All right? It brings me joy. Nobody's nagging me. And it's definitely a hell yes.
Absolutely. God help me. Matt has the life of Riley, doesn't he?
I just
He's such a lucky
follow
guy.
my mentor, Katie Boyd.
Yep.
That's all. My
Damn
beautiful
right.
wife. I
Damn
just
right.
follow her
You're
advice.
so lucky.
I'll be fine.
So there's literally no other room for anything else unless it's something fun or it gets me closer to where I want to go. Mm-hmm. My dreams, my goals, my aspirations. What do you have to say about that, Matt Babine?
I agree. And it's like again, if we're going to do something, the good thing is if we're doing stuff with you, we fucking love you. Right? I mean, we really, really choose to be with those people, right? I mean, and they know that because they know how busy we are and how crazy we're about our time. Mm-hmm. And it took a long time. I mean, we had a lot of things going on when we were growing up, the both of us, like we said. We used to be huge people pleasers, and now it's like,
don't you
we're
learn
done.
that from your family of origin? I remember being a little girl and my mom would have these elaborate birthday parties at the house, and when I was growing up, and all of my aunts and uncles and my cousins and everyone would come to the house and they would just rape and pillage my home, treat my mother like a servant. And even at a young age, I remember being 5 or 6 years old and being knowing that it was wrong, but you're a kid, so what can you really do about it? And as I grew up and I could understand things better, she would just say, well, this is just what we do.
And
you have to do this.
That's their programming. That's their loop, right? That's their loop of we must be abused. We must do these things.
But
it's
she learned it from her mother.
Right.
Same exact thing, because my grandmother would do the same thing, and you learn from your family of origin. So we, as the people who are living in this 3-dimensional reality, we're the ones that have to say, okay, I saw this, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my mother, or whomever all go through these trials and tribulations. I'm going to be the one that breaks
the cycle.
That cycle.
Yeah. And I did, and I'll tell you, I was so glad when I was an adult and I, started to make money and do things where I really could say, this is my life, and this is what I'm going to do. And come hell or high water, I'm in the United States of America. I'm able to do whatever the hell I want to do,
Absolutely.
and this is how I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to be a robot. I'm not going to be that person, right, that just, oh, well, everybody does it. Oh, just put up with it.
Lemmings.
Bullshit. And I'm not going to do it. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't help me propel myself. It's just
what does
not
Earl
good.
Nightingale say? Whatever the herd is doing, do the
opposite. So if 95% of the people going this way, turn and go the other way.
Absolutely.
Go the other way. Because that 95% are not leaders. They're followers, and they're just following the crowd. And guess what? The crowd doesn't know shit.
No. No, and the crowd is like the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it is.
It really is so true.
Yeah. Good point. It
Thanks,
is a zombie
friend.
apocalypse.
Yeah, zombie apocalypse. You know
Walking
I love
Dead.
the zombie apocalypse.
Walking Dead.
5, last but not least, know your worth, right? Like Shakespeare says, to thine own self be true. And then Drake says, know yourself, know your worth, right?
Yeah.
That shit was going on. Drake, Shakespeare, it's all the same thing.
Same
right?
thing.
If you don't think that you and your time is valuable, then why the fuck do you think that anyone else should? Set the price and the worth of our time and our presence. If you establish This is who I am. This is what I'm worth. This is how I value my time. We will, in turn, teach people how to treat us.
Yes.
We teach people how to treat us, whether it's good or bad.
And give somebody else the opportunity to act that way as well, right?
Yes.
Because we have role models that we followed and people that we knew growing up and so forth and so on, that we made the changes that we needed to be, you know. And, you know, you have to take charge of your time because it is valuable. Like I said before, you know, you can make more money, you can do more stuff or whatever, but time is of the essence, right? So if you're doing even like I do a seminar, or if I'm speaking, or if I have so much time with a doctor I'm working with, or whatever the case may be, I'm very, very cautious of his time or her time, and I'm cautious of my own. So I know how much mine is worth. So the minute the meeting is over, that's great. We're done. I'll talk to you guys later. If I'm finished my seminar, that's it. These are the last things. Go ahead. If I'm teaching a martial arts lesson, the lesson's over within 30 minutes, right? Because I have a tight schedule, and I have to be able to move forward mostly like you.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you're on to the next thing all the time too. And, yeah, so that's what I think about that.
Oh, Matt.
Is my voice still keeping where it needs to be?
I'll take you or leave you today.
Please take me.
Do you feel good, though?
I do. I feel really good about this.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it. I think we did the nose.
Just say no.
No.
It's just,
no, I don't have anything
let
to
it just
add.
roll off your tongue.
Time is over.
Like honey.
I'm done.
Like honey.
I think this is over.
Oh, it's over? Because
No,
you
not
said it is? Oh, you're not coming on this damn podcast anymore. I'm done with you. All I have to say is thank you for being crusaders of the Ambitchious movement. And like I always say, see you next Tuesday. Ow!
Good job, babe.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.